In this video, I'm going to help you to avoid potential brand embarrassment that can arise from such a simple thing as choosing a website domain name. Coming up with a name for your business can be difficult, and just when you think you've cracked it, you then need to get a website domain name to match your business name, or one that reflects what your business is about. With so many businesses and websites out there, getting a suitable domain name can be tricky. While searching, you may be really surprised to find that your business name is actually available. Hurrah! But just wait a minute. The reason that your perfect domain name is available could be that it is what is known as a slurl, and you just haven't noticed. But what is a slurl? The term slurl was coined by Andy Geldman, a software developer in the UK, and it's a combination of URL and the word slur. A URL is a Uniform Resource Locator, or as we more commonly know it, a website address or a web domain. Then we have the word slur, an insulting or a disparaging remark or innuendo. By combining URL and slur, we get a term that contains adult phrases, slang terms or innuendo. Something that many people would find insulting, or at the very least, it will put them off visiting your website. Let's take a look at some Slurl web domain examples. Now, some still exist, but many of the brands have since realised that they had a Slurl domain and no longer use them for their website. This first one is an interesting one. It really isn't clear whether this is a real company that sells branded pens or if they are simply making fun of the slurl that happens when you have their name, Pen Island, as a web domain. Because domain names don't use capitalization to help accentuate individual words, our brains chop them up into different words and phrases, creating a slurl. Here are some other examples. Who Represents is a talent agency, and not a present store for, well, you can see. We have this Artisanal cheese company with their domain name. The cheese company isn't alone. Any company that uses the word artisanal in their domain is probably going to end up being the butt of the joke. And here are some domains of sites that no longer exist. Can you see why? childrenslaughter.com, expertsexchange.com, therapistfinder.com. One last example of that would be for a very short-lived podcast which I started with a friend of mine. We called the podcast Let's Hit Record, which had the domain name letshitrecord.com. As you can see, we had created a slurl within our name. We thought it was funny and decided to stick with it. Unfortunately, due to our busy schedules, we only recorded a few episodes and we never really got the podcast off the ground. We can often be so focused on getting a specific name or series of words when web domain hunting that we simply don't see other word variations that can appear. My advice is to always get a second pair of eyes to take a look at the domain name you've decided to go with before you launch it into the public. Someone else might see a slurl that you completely missed. On the other hand, for some, as in my Let's Hit Record podcast example, a slurl may be the perfect way to get people talking and to get some early traction and publicity. Some brands like to court a little bit of controversy. In addition to domain names, you will also need to get your social media handles. And for useful advice on choosing brand names for social media, check out this video up here. If you found the video useful, please click the like button. It really helps the channel. And until I see you next time, stay creative, folks.